Nihilism, the type of philosophy that neglects everything as if it never matters, and the people who believe in nihilism are called nihilists. They reject the idea that life has any objective meaning, purpose, or value. But before you call nihilism a depressing philosophy, let's look deeper. Because nihilism is not just a philosophy, it is a question that has haunted humanity for centuries. If nothing truly matters, then why do we do anything at all? This question did not appear on the internet. It did not appear in modern society. It existed long before us. Throughout history, people searched for meaning through religion, family, nations, traditions, and morality. These systems gave people a reason to wake up every morning. Then some thinkers started asking dangerous questions. What if these meanings are not universal truths? What if humans simply created them? What if the purpose we believe in is nothing more than a story? And this is where nihilism begins. The word nihilism comes from the Latin word nihil, meaning nothing. A nihilist believes that life has no inherent meaning. The universe does not care about human happiness. The stars do not care whether you succeed or fail. Nature does not reward good people or punish bad people. Things simply happen. And one of the most famous philosophers associated with nihilism was Friedrich Nietzsche. Many people mistakenly call Nietzsche a nihilist, but the truth is more interesting. Nietzsche saw nihilism as a crisis. He believed Western society was slowly losing its traditional beliefs. People were no longer finding meaning through religion as they once did. This led him to his famous statement, "God is dead." He wasn't saying a god literally died. He meant that old sources of meaning were losing their power over society. And once those old foundations disappeared, people faced a terrifying problem. What comes next? If the old meaning is, what replaces it? Nietzsche feared that humanity would fall into nihilism and stop caring about anything. A perfect example can be found in everyday life. Think about a student. For years he studies hard because he believes success will make him happy. He gets the grades. He enters university. He gets the degree. He finds a job. He earns money. Then one day he asks himself, is this it? The goal he chased for years suddenly feels empty. The happiness he expected never fully arrives. This moment is surprisingly common. Many people spend years climbing a mountain only to discover there is no treasure waiting at the top. This feeling often pushes people toward nihilistic thinking. Another philosopher connected to these ideas was Arthur Schopenhauer. Schopenhauer had a very dark view of life. He argued that humans are driven by endless desires. When we don't get what we want, we suffer. When we finally get what we want, we become bored. Then we want something else. And the cycle repeats forever. According to him, human life swings between suffering and boredom. It is not hard to see why many people considered his philosophy pessimistic, yet his ideas influenced countless thinkers who came after him. Now let's talk about one of the most famous fictional examples of nihilism. In The Brothers Karamazov, the writer Fyodor Dostoevsky explored what happens when people lose faith in higher meaning. Dostoevsky feared that if people stopped believing in objective morality, they might start believing that anything is permitted. If there is no ultimate meaning, why be good? Why follow moral rules? Why sacrifice for others? These questions became central to debates about nihilism, because once meaning disappears, morality itself becomes uncertain. But nihilism is not only about meaning. There are different forms of nihilism. Existential nihilism says life has no inherent purpose. Moral nihilism argues that objective right and wrong do not exist. Epistemological nihilism questions whether true knowledge is even possible. Each form attacks a different foundation of human certainty. Meaning, morality, knowledge, the things most people take for granted. During the 19th century, nihilism became especially famous in Russia. Young intellectuals began rejecting traditional authority. They questioned religion, government, social customs, and old values. One important fictional representation was Fathers and Sons. The character Bazarov became one of literature's earliest famous nihilists. He rejected tradition. He rejected authority. He trusted only science and reason. For many readers, Bazarov represented a new generation challenging everything that came before. Now, here's the strange part. Many people think nihilism automatically leads to despair. But reality is more complicated. Some people become depressed after concluding that life has no objective meaning.